Okay, we've got the Melbourne racing preview thanks to Top Sport, and I'm joined by Trevor Lawson. How are you, Trev?
Good, Mark. Good.
Back to Caulfield for tomorrow. Rails out 9, and it's looking a bit wet as well.
Yeah, so if I bring up the that's the scratching page. So they haven't updated it since yesterday, but they had 26.6 mil till yesterday morning, and then I know some may know only live 100 yards from the track. We've had some more rain yesterday afternoon into early evening. He's posted as a 7, which I haven't walked it yet. I spoke to someone, had a look at it last night. They thought it was in the 5 to 6 range.
Okay.
I probably think it'll we're getting a bit more rain tonight. I think it'll probably race in that sort of range if we don't get too much more. They just drain so well now. Like, it's very rare that you sort of get a heavy track. Sometimes they call them heavy, but they don't really race like that. So, but I'll have a look at the track sort of around lunchtime today. So the rail's out 9 metres. I've got some data here that I can get from punting form analytics, and this shows here the last 5 meetings that the rail's been in the 9 metre position, where the horses are in the run at sort of 400. So we can see that this one's back in 2018. 5 horses were midfield, 2 were forward, 2 were back. This race here, 5 were forward, 3 were mid, 1 was back.
Yep.
3, 4, 2, 2, 6. So as a generalisation, you see that you sort of want to be forward, forward to midfield, midfield or forward in the run, going forward. This one shows what lanes they're in. So this is just to give me sort of some sort of guide as a starting point before I go and look at it myself. We can see here back. This meeting. This is sort of this meeting here back. It's 2014. It's 6 years ago, but it was run on a 6, slow 6. You could sort of win in lane 1 and 2, and then sort of later on, a lot of the ones have sort of been sort of midfield. So as we sort of go to 2016, only one horse won that was sort of on the fence or off the fence at sort of the 400 metre mark. Most of the winners were 3 to 7. This day they're actually out even wider. Another 5 meeting in 2018. Again, only one winner on the fence. Most winners were 5 to 7. So it gives you sort of some sort of guide. So my thinking is that you sort of want to be forward to midfield and off the fence, sort of from probably the 5 to 600. But as I say, what I'll do is, I'll check that myself when I have a look, when I sort of walk the track today. But that's sort of just a starting point.
So you'll walk the track and see how you think the lanes look, and then that'll obviously do your speed maps, so that'll start to give you an idea of the shape.
Yeah. So the first leg of the quaddie.
We might just look at the quaddie legs. So race 6 is just over the 1,000 metres, just in Top Sports market. So Diamond Effort is $3 favourite at the moment, from Parsifal at $5 and Rock Magic at $9.50. How does the race look to you at this stage?
Okay, so there's a quick view of the speed map. Sort of few push forward. Diamond Effort will sort of be forward and probably in the right spot. Parsifal will sort of be forward in midfield. A couple others going forward. Ashlar will be on the fence. At the moment, I sort of haven't, I haven't put the barrier penalties in just as say because I haven't sort of walked it. I want to be sort of a bit more definitive, but I've got Diamond Effort favourite, but around to the $5 mark. These will change slightly when I sort of trim them up a bit, and also, if anything, the last few days are anything to go by, there may be a fair few scratchings, and
Okay.
especially if we sort of get a wet track. But Diamond Effort, she resumed over 1,000, produced a terrific figure, won easily. She's a half or a full to second effort, which Clint McDonald trained, and it was a terrific wet tracker. I think he might have won a weight for age race and won a couple of Wongooms. Well, definitely won one Wongoom anyway. So it's related to it. So it's a swimmer. So there's every chance, I'll sort of may mark it a little short. The only little thing is that it has gone 11, 11, 1,200 and he's come back to the 1,000. But with the soft track, it'll be a bit like sort of 1,100 metre race anyway. The other runners in the race that have sort of got a chance, the Parsifal's first up. He did win at Morpheville on a slow track. Going back, is a second last prep. So he's sort of first up here. He should run well. And the interesting runners are a bit sort of hard to get a line on. Malibu Spile is, it's 8 years old now, but it's been running around in sort of group races. So here it ran second in the Ori Star. Then it went to a group 2 and ran second to Zatori, which was being placed in the group 1s. And then it ran third to sort of over 1,000 here to Miss Leonidas. It's been placed a couple of times on slow tracks, but sort of its last couple of preparations, but hasn't won. It does get 62 less to claim. And he's sort of first up here, but they're sort of getting older, so sometimes it's sort of a little difficult to get a line, to sort of get a line on. And the other one's Rock Magic. He's 10 years old, and again, he's second up. He ran second last in the William Reid, but he did get out the back. But in his previous prep, he ran sort of fourth in the behind Love and Gabby. So in the Australia Stakes, so it's a race where I think there's probably 5 or 6 chances. Vainstrom's going okay as well. Innkeeper's good wet tracker, but not sure if it's going that well. But as you can see from the market, I've sort of got Diamond Effort favourite, but it's slightly longer than the market. So I sort of not sure if it's a betting race and it'll be a wide race in the quarter.
Yeah, so a few you mentioned Malibu Style with Top Sport, $11 at the moment. Vainstream, $12, and Innkeeper actually out at $26 at the early stage with
so
Top
it's
Sport.
probably and Snow Lord's having its first start for Archie Alexander. It tried quite well, but yeah, it's not a definitive sort of race where you can sort of stamp on.
All right, race 7 is the handicap over the 1600 for the 3-year-olds. And just at the moment, with Top Sport, Russian Camelot, $2.40 favourite, and has been backed by the look of it. B Hunter, $4.60, Tooradin, $7, and Chuckaluck at $8.50. Your thoughts?
It's a cracking race. I think there's 3 promising horses here. B Hunter, Russian Camelot, and Tooradin, and unfortunately they've all found the same race. The map's a little bit different here, tricky here. We've got Tooradin's drawn barrier 1 and probably going to sit in midfield. It sort of missed the starts past couple. Russian Camelot missed the start badly the other day, so you wouldn't want to sort of miss it too much. B Hunter drew wide last start and went back to last, but I'm thinking from a better draw, it can settle in front of the other two. I don't think you'd sort of want to settle behind them. So I thought it would sort of push forward. Gaze Horse will lead, and the Tasmanian horse, it looks to have some sort of pace. So the map sort of favours B Hunter a little bit. It's an interesting race. Chuckaluck won the Mornington Guineas for us last start.
Yeah.
It sort of had every possible chance and just won. So I thought that was sort of what it could do. B Hunter was, we were on B Hunter as well the other weeks. It was a massive performance. It sort of went back to last and ran sort of unbelievable sectionals. So it ran, so just getting it up here, it ran, if you see here, so it's run from the 10 to the 8, 11.6, so it's slightly quicker than anything else. Gone 11.6 again from the 8 to the 6, which is sort of, it's lost a little bit of ground. Then it's run 11.4, and it's basically run 10 flat. I wasn't sure about that time. I actually clocked it myself and got it going just like 10.0 something. So the 10 seconds is thing. So from the 400 metres to the 200 metres, it basically made up 6 lengths on Key Valley, and then sort of went another 2 lengths quicker than at last 200. It was an unbelievable performance. On sort of benchmarks, its last 400 runs 6 lengths quicker, over 6 lengths quicker than this class. So it's got a terrific turn of foot. The only slight query with it, I suppose, is now it has to do it over 1,600 metres, but it was strong through the line the other day, so there's nothing to suggest that it wouldn't do it. So I thought it could improve dramatically off that raw figure. And I sort of stepped it, sort of got a 9 to 2 chance. Rushwood Camelot, big spruik horse, this horse. It's only won a Ballarat maiden at its first start, but last start it missed the start, sort of 3 lengths. It ran quicker sectionals home than Spend and Riddle Me That, which basically ran 1-2 at Bendigo last Saturday. It ran quicker than sort of Spanish Dancer coming home sort of after missing the start. So it was very impressive. You can see here it's sort of run, from the 10 to the 8, it's run 11.2, which is very quick for, from the 1,000 to the 800. Then 11.6, so 10.5, you can see here's a lot quicker than most of them. Then sort of 11.5 again, and sort of just peaked a bit the last bit, but it had done, from the 1,000 to the 200, it had done all the work. So it's a bit hard to rate. I sort of basically rated it what the market did last start, what the market expected it to do. So I thought it was the one to beat, ran the 6 to 4. Little slight queries, the barrier, so you probably wouldn't want to mark it much shorter. It may run shorter, but just from barrier 2. And the other one's Turidan. It only won a 64 at Ballarat, but it won with its head on its chest. Didn't run quite as quick sectionals as the other 2 horses, but it was strong through the line and easily accounted for a tame, which is an honest horse of Danny O'Brien's. So I thought it was still in the up. Again, the only slight query is the barrier, but I thought basically there was sort of 3 main hopes.
Yep.
I would have liked to see Turidan, in a different sort of race. I'd love, but I think B Hunter might, settle in front of Russian Camelot, but hopefully it should be a good race.
Yeah, okay, so we'll move on to race 8, which is also over the mile. Just looking at top sports market. So Beneteau, $3.10 favourite at the moment. From My Pendant at $4.80. Aussie Nugget and Exasperate, both $7. Your thoughts on the market?
Yeah, this race is not a lot of speed up the front. A lot of horses will get back. So Beneteau, Aussie Nugget, My Pendant, they all Exasperate, all sort of should settle in the second half of the field. I've got Beneteau favourite, but it's sort of around the sort of 3-1, 7-2 mark. It was terrific at Flemington second up, over 1400. Then it went to Sydney and ran in the Coolmore, got beat 7 lengths. But I thought I'd actually black booked it off the Flemington run and thought it could improve off that. So I've rated it to its best figure here, which is over 1700 on this track at Caulfield. 58, has won on the wet track before. So I sort of went looking for it, but couldn't quite get it that sort of short. The other interesting runners are Charossa, Gordon Richards, just everything he seems to bring here wins. It's had 2 runs back.
Charossa 950 at the moment with Top Sport.
Yeah, it won a race at Flemington last August where it just walked in on a slow track. I don't know if it can repeat that figure, but I've sort of rated it sort of just down off that. So I think it's around the right odds at the moment. Exasperate, a horse that the market seems to never find, but it's just a consistent horse. You see my figures, it's sort of rated 56, had a 42-day break, went 56.5, went 57. Last winter it was going 57, 57.5. You can see here it loves the wet track. So I think it's one that sort of be over the odds. My Pendant's the one I sort of half liked it last start a bit at the odds, but it didn't do much. It seems well found at 440. On my figures, this prep, its best figure is sort of 55. It's underperformed according to what the market thought it would do. Last prep, it was sort of, it did 57s, 58.5, 59s, but it's only had their sort of more been over 1400. So last start over 1600 was well beaten. So I thought it was one that was sort of under the odds. And the other one is Aussie Nugget. We got a terrific win out of this last November when it won at Sandown for us at good odds. It's ran well first up at Geelong. The only query with it is it just basically doesn't have any wet track form. I mean, it got beat 2.9 in a maiden before going out for a spell, and then after that, it's only seen a dead track and he was drawn wide. So sometimes the market's a guide with these horses, whether they, the trainers seem to know, or there's inside information whether they think it'll handle it or not. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what it does, but at its best, it's definitely got a good chance. So I thought there was sort of four main hopes, and then out to sort of which were Charossa, Exasperate, Beneteau, and Aussie Nugget, and then you sort of got Black Sails and In and Out Horse got some hope, and My Pendant had some hope.
Sure, no worries. And the last of the day is the Remember Roy Higgins handicap over the 2000. Star Missile favourite with Top Sport at $4.60. But War Tiger, the emergency, also $5. Selsamore 6, Declares War 8. Humboldt Current 850 and Lord Belvedere 850. So pretty wide open at the moment.
Yeah, so this is one of these things where you've got they put all the horses in the market, so there's actually 4 emergencies. Often is Lad, War Tiger, Nudge, and Galen are all emergencies. And at the moment, War Tigers $5.50. So the market's got about 30, 18, 20, 26, over 30% in the 4 emergencies. So yeah, you can sort of see. So Top Sport's actually the shortest price, shortest percentage, and they're 157.6% in the
Yeah.
market. So at the moment, I've just left all the horses in because big field, wet track, there's a good chance you'll get sort of multiple scratchings. So at the moment on this race, I sort of want to do it again and see if there's some scratchings and all that. But as you can see, my market down here, basically I'm $10 the field.
Yeah, it's pretty wide, isn't it?
Yeah, so it may trim up a little bit, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 11 horses, $20 and under at the moment.
Yeah, right.
There were some interesting runners. I thought Star Missile seems very short odds to me.
Yeah, $4.60 at the moment, favourite, as we said, with Top Sport.
Yeah, so he resumed at sale in October, and then he won the Greys race on Oaks Day, I think. Yeah, on Oaks Day he won the Greys race and rated terrific. And then he had 100 days off, and he was being set for the All-Star Mile. And first up, he was terrible at Flemington, and then he went to Moonee Valley, and he was just as poor. And so, as you can see, he went to the All-Star Mile and he ran. He was 490 to 1 on Betfair when they jumped. And he beat sort of 2 home. He got beat 4.6, but he sort of rated up. And now he goes to 2,000, of which he's only had a couple of runs. He did run second as a 3-year-old. So he's had 3 runs. Yeah, he's ran second as a 3-year-old. But I don't know whether he's really, how he's sort of going. And I didn't really want to sort of rate him up higher than the Caulfield. I didn't want to rate him up near his best. So as you can see in a wide open race, I sort of got him, $13 with it. So he seems sort of under the odds. And the other one's War Tiger. He won in Adelaide the other day. He basically did not much at Sandown first up, and then he went to Adelaide. And he just won a walk. They went out. Sort of 8 lengths slower than the average for that class. So it's just gone out in a jog, and then sort of come home okay. But it beat sort of Farouk or Faruz, who's no sort of star. So I thought it sort of seemed well found. But it'll sort of be a race that it'll take a bit more work to get through. But there may be some horses that sort of around the 15 to 21, $20 mark that sort of might have sort of some chance in that race.
Yeah, so a bit of a wide open market. So perhaps find a little bit of value a bit further down, and it's the last race of the day. So your specialty, of course.
Yeah. Although we only ran second the other day, but
Fair enough. All right. Well, thanks for that, Trev. Get a bit of an idea, and as you said, you'll head out and have a look at the track today and see what sort of nick it's in and where the best place to be. And then we look forward to members hearing you tomorrow morning, and we'll catch up again next week and review the meeting.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
Cheers.